no, seriously, it's truly an honor and a privilege to serve you for this oncoming year. No one, however, can possibly make it to where I am today or achieve that all I have done alone. You need to work hand in hand with many special people. Hand in hand, this will be my theme for 2011. And I could not have gotten through the years where I am today without my wife of 38 years. Diane is truly my muse, my soulmate, and my one true love, and I love her very, very much. As you just saw, my two sons. My two sons who are continuously teaching me. They teach me patience, they teach me understanding, and every day they teach me that I don't know everything. To my daughter-in-law, Leslie, who brought my wonderful grandchildren here today, you know, there are times when we're rushed and we're going a million different directions. We have 3 listings, we have showings, we have closings. When that happens, think of her. I mean, 3 young kids, all going in different directions, teaching them, cooking. I feel tired just watching her. So she has those grandchildren for us, and I'm convinced that God gave us grandchildren as a gift of love and innocence for the whole world to enjoy. I love you, Molly, Hannah, and Noah. To my parents, who taught me that hard work and persistence will pay off. Keep at it. And anyone that's been in this position before knows that you can't do it without a great support back at the office. My son Chris, who's my CFO and partner, my assistant Michelle, and all those at the office, they're there when we're out doing volunteer work at the local, state, or national level. Thank you, Chris, and I know it's a tough burden, but it is appreciated. 2011, wow, how fast time flies. It's amazing. It seems like yesterday we just started this operation. And you know, we all must decide very early on in life if we're here just for the ride, or if we're going to live every minute to its fullest and accomplish all that we can while we're here on this earth. It's a very short time. The great philosopher Plato once said, "A life that goes unexamined is a life that is not worth living." That goes for us personally, as well as our businesses and our organizations. Yes, businesses and organizations, they too have a life. They are created through a vision. They have a growth stage. They have their trials and tribulations. And if they're not modified and looked at continuously, they too will have an end. It's a tough task, and you have to look at it. The goals that I'm setting for 2011 will be goals to help assure the long-term success of our association and continuation of its past successes. We've accomplished much in the past, and we can't forget it. These goals will not come easy, yet we've achieved, when achieved, future generations of realtors will look back and say, as we do to those that came before us and preceded us, thank goodness the leaders of our association back in 2010, 2011 were visionary thinkers and planners. My first goal in order of business will be to meet with Paul Griffin and our current president, Monica, to ask them to assemble a qualified team, a committee to complete within the next 6 months a business plan. This is to assure the future financial success of our association. A business plan that will go hand in hand with our strategic plan and our association bylaws. A business plan that will give us all that follow a financial operating picture, a futuristic picture that is needed to assure the association's long-term viability and success. A plan that I hope will be ready, Paul, hopefully, for your adoption at our mid-year Board of Directors meeting. My second goal is to speed up the process and recommendations of a building committee. As many of you know, we've been looking, studying, and investigating buildings for the past 6, 7, 8 months. A building could do much for us. Talking earlier to Barbara and others, how the additional income and additional stuff helps the Nationals organization. So I'd ask the committee to please come back to us with a recommendation, one way or the other, also by the mid-year committee, mid-year Board of Directors meetings. Let's look into it. Let's investigate it. If it works, let's do it. If not, we understand we tried. Third, I've asked my chairman, Ansel Grandmason, a.k.a. Barry, to his friends. Thank you. The communication to look into working closely, hand in hand, with the local boards, with the advertising campaign. As most of you are now aware, that we reinstituted the advertising budget this year. As I discussed with Ansel, it would be nice if we could bring in the local boards, get their name on board in the advertising, so that if someone's looking to become a member up north, they go to the White Mountain or the up north board, south to one of our boards. But let's get the name of the boards out there. Yes, we're a realtor, but let's promote the local boards, join the boards, create more membership for them. Hopefully we can do that.
Yeah.
My fourth goal is I've asked my chairman, Maxine Goodyear, and the Professional Development Committee, to find a way, again, to work in the regions of the state, to have regional educational classes. Continue with the technology that Monty was so great in providing us this year, but bring the educational classes throughout the state. Share the income. We can have 3 or 4 boards get together in different parts of the state, have a great meeting, a great educational session, and share the income with the local boards. It's another way that Monty and I have discussed, and I think it would be great if we could do 3 or 4 of those across the state next year for all the boards as well, working with the boards hand in hand. For those of you who know me, I love history, and I love reading biographies. And a few of my favorite is Aristotle, Da Vinci, Albert Einstein, and Disney. And they all had a very close to the same quotation when you ask them how they accomplished so much and how they came up with their ideas. Basically, they all said, very similar, that it all starts with a dream and a vision, and it continues with persistence. We must not let anyone ever tell us that our dreams and our visions cannot be accomplished. We must keep a high sense of optimism as often as possible. We are the voice. We are the image of real estate. If the economy is slow, they're going to look at each and every one of you, your neighbors, your friends, your organizations. It's up to us to stay optimistic. It's up to us to put a good face on and tell them what's really happening and how we can help. This can be done. Again, with my little history, there's a famous general in the midst of a war, and I forget if it was the Civil War, and sorry the name slips me, but he had been surrounded a few times during the war, and he was surrounded once again. So here he's surrounded by the enemy, and he has to go to his men. But he's an optimist, so he goes to his men and says, "Men, we're surrounded once again by the enemy. Those poor bastards." Optimism. We're all born with free choice. And this concept of free choice creates a vision within us. A vision within us. And this vision is constantly changing. We got to go after these visions. As we move forward to achieve these goals, as well as our own goals, we must work hand in hand, not only with our neighbors and our family, with other realtors, other boards, as well as state and national. Hand in hand is important to accomplish our goals. Hand in hand. You know, people say, you climbed Kilimanjaro, I climbed Kilimanjaro. There's no I or you in climbing Kilimanjaro. Hand in hand. Climbing this highest freestanding in a mountain was no small feat, and not accomplished alone. It took many. It took 1.5 years of planning, training, and checking details. My 2 sons were right there working with me all along the way, just to plan out this venture, this excursion. It took coordination of 25 to 30 porters, coordinating each one to make sure everyone had a job and a function to achieve the goals. We had 4 guides on shifts. Some in the animal area protecting us with guns, others guiding us up the mountain, others keeping us going. We had to buy clothing, 4 different climate extremes. We had to plan it. My son Craig, he's probably one of the best shoppers and researchers that we had. For 1.5 years, what do we need for equipment? He had to buy clothing, 4 different climates, ranging from 85 degrees above zero to 25 degrees below. We had to plan for that. We had to have that vision of where we were going to be. We had to plan where we were going to spend nights on. 9 different nights on the mountain. Where are they going to be? How are we going to get there? Drinking water. things we take for granted, drinking water, air, food. Who's going to cook the food? Who's going to prepare the food? Everybody to get your goal, to accomplish that dream, have a function. Everybody work towards that goal to assure that our dream of reaching the summit above the clouds and amongst the glaciers was accomplished. Don't get me wrong, along the way there were trials and tribulations, mostly me, but the trials and tribulations as we pressed on, we continued to press on through them. You know, my sons pushed us, I pushed my sons, we kept going. We have to work hand in hand to accomplish anything that's worth accomplishing. And if you do that, you will accomplish your vision. Planning and hard work, we did, and we reached the summit, and we achieved a goal that everyone said was impossible. Don't let anyone ever tell you that you're too young or you're too old to accomplish your goal. Age is just a number. You can do it. I hear Ansel say, but I'm only Ansel. Age is just a number. Angie, age is just a number. She's here tonight. Age is just a number. So as I set these goals for our association for the oncoming year, 2011 will be a time for each and every one of us to shed our past perceptions of past troubles, of past strife, and to exchange that vision for a new vision, a vision of transformation, a vision of growth of membership, and a vision of reality for the future of our association we are all striving for. What happens in 2011 will be the foundation for our association for the next 10 years. What happens in the next 10 years will be the basis of what happens to our association for the future. There will be a greater feeling circulating within our association throughout 2011 to help us achieve these dreams, successes, enlighten each and every one of us. This will be the power of vision, the power of dreams, the power of what we want to become and can become. So as the year begins, if I was to give everyone here this evening something to keep with them to begin 2011 that will hold true for the whole year, it would be become a powerful visionary, to be true to your dreams, be persistent, and work hard, hand in hand, all those and all that surrounds us all. Thank you very much. Have a great evening. Happy, healthy, and prosperous 2011.